welcome to episode 45 of the Youth Squad Legends series with Wrexham, eh? Alright, we won't sugarcoat it. This episode is gonna be a bit weird. Most of the pre-season fixes are done. The usual stuff like your name fixes, your height fixes, the global overall changes. They're all set for the new campaign, but we did have a significant internet outage on Friday, which would have been my main work day. And even though I've been a bit frantic trying to catch up Saturday, Sunday, we've not been able to get the save to where I want it to be when we start the championship season. So this episode is gonna concentrate on transfers. To close off the League One season that's just concluded, we're into the squad hub to have a look at the statistics. Top appearance makeup for Wrexham, Keone Solar, Man Mountain, unbelievable defender. Hope you like the new home kit. I think it's glorious. Danny Binge just behind on 42 appearances. Most goals, I think he'll be Sorindari. Benzemaker was only one behind. Unbelievable work. Most assists go to Sorindari as well. You can see how vital, how crucial he is up front. Tomoharu Ioka with 11, most probably from the corner kicks. And clean sheets, probably Cesarini top. No, Keone Solar, 14 clean sheets. Mate, he is so good. He's like Durante, but Samoan, and built like a brick house. However, it might come as a surprise to you that my player of the season is Giacomo Cesarini. The San Marinese right back has been exceptional. The fans' player of the season, another surprise, because he does have his critics, but his penalty-saving antics has got him a lot of admirers. Tobias Tanner, congratulations. You know what? It's a real big struggle to award most improved player. I think I might give it to William Ronto. Time and time again, he puts in a shift when Spencer Neal's not playing. And as for worst player of the season, don't think it gets any worse than Joseph Tambora. Came in through the winter, I believe, with big expectations, but that body type is not suited for holding midfield duty. Whilst we're here, I want to pass on my congratulations to Giacomo Cesarini for being named player of the episode in episode 44. Despite only being in the squad for 2 minutes, Walter Newton is completely furious with Jang Sung Chan. That's led to Ryan Reynolds taking significant action through the summer to try and get the player back on side. He's moved temporarily to the Vancouver Whitecaps. And the last thing to point out before we get into the new season, Rodrigo Rojas has returned back to a winger. The plan was to sell him in the summer, but then there was an offer from Crystal Palace. We know that team absolutely adore Rodrigo Rojas, so it was a match made in heaven that bagged us £5 million. Welcome to the championship, everybody, and welcome to a transfer window that is gonna be full of drama, because the global dynamic overall that was expected to cause havoc in the series is causing havoc in the series. Players that were once shrugged off by Wrexham rejects, are coming back into the fold. If I remember correctly, Reynolds was a bit of a nothing goalkeeper. He's turning to 77 overall. Perpart's had a great jump at 81, but I think the real success story of the global dynamics is Luke Williams, now at 72 overall. Luke Williams is 72 overall, and some of the statistics in the technical side are absolutely outrageous. We're talking about a lad that's got 91 short pass. You look at him on paper, and the fact that it was actually quite challenging to sell him in the first place because he was a good performer for Wrexham. It makes him an absolute shoo-in to be re-signed this summer by the Welsh outfit. Here's some other eye-openers for you. Anthony Rocca, 80 overall at Leicester. And the player who feels like the one who got away, Ennio Pilato, now at 82 overall. He is mighty, 6'2", 92 sprint speed, great technicals about him. He's a silly player, mate. We'll talk more about our ex-players in a little while. It's into the squad hub where we have to dwindle 44 players down to a manageable squad size for the season. Goalkeepers absolutely fine with. Tobias Tanner is our number 1. Oscar Torres might be a little bit upset to be called a number 2, but he can't really argue with that. Left back we got Spencer Neal, Victor Palmer, William Ronto, Moon Monkey. Victor Palmer is already on his way to Stevenage, I think. Let me just check that. Yes. And I can't see a long and prosperous future at the club for Moon Monkey. Great name, just came at the wrong time. At 74 overall, he'll get us a ton of money with a transfer. We're just stacked at centre-back, guys. Absolutely stacked with sensational players and Madi Al-Balushi. One press of the advance button and he's on his way. But for the others, I think 6 players, we have to try and reduce down to 4. And even then, it might be quite the juggle to keep everybody happy. That is a bit of a nightmare. It's a good headache to have. Any way you look at it, you're getting rid of top centre-backs. We're going to put Finlay Evans onto the transfer list. He's done absolutely nothing wrong. I really like him at right back, but come on, man. Giacomo Cesarini and Alex Brutus. They are class, really class. I want to get Alex Brutus out on loan because there's Con Hunter, fraud detective, that I'd like to bring into the club and evaluate through this season. Now, central defensive midfield is the position where we're going to see the clear out. Gino August had his moment in the spotlight, lifting the League One title, actually doing quite well in that final game. But what's going against him and what's going against Joseph Tambora is the fact that Canales came in and showed us what exactly a central midfield could and probably should do for Wrexham. And now it's just really dropped question marks on everybody, quite honestly. It is such a shame that he's got that long-standing injury. Even on July the 1st, he's 5 months away from healing up. Like, we are talking about a November, December type of thing. Even Canales right now is susceptible to be replaced by a Canales-type player. He really has opened our eyes to extracting so much more from that part of our team. I know I might be kicking the can down the road, but onto the loan list goes Chester Pruden. He's not going to get enough game time at left midfield to stay happy. We've already seen what Walter Newton's done. Couple of months and he said, sod this, I don't want to be on the bench all my career. Whilst he's here, we might want to train him up to be a holding midfielder. I tell you what, Mavan surprised me. I thought he was top notch at the back end of last season, and I want to put him on the loan list to try and loan glitch his potential. That's currently standing at a pretty measly like 73, and if we can get that somewhere in the 80s, we might have a player on our hands. It would be safe to loan out Firiapu. Now then, Tristan Hicks, this might be a surprise to everyone. I'm considering putting him on the transfer list. He is in such an awkward spot right now, in pretty decent form, but he's certainly a central attacking midfielder, and we don't play with a central attacking midfielder. Our plans going forward does not include a central attacking midfielder. Don't get me wrong, he can do a job in other positions, but he always feels a bit awkward. Of course, Ioka is golden at right midfield. Volker Wolf as an understudy will probably not work out that well. He's got important squad role. I don't think he'll accept being second string this season, but obviously the talent's there. I don't want to sell him, so we'll add him to the loan list. What goes down with Alan Richards? He was training to be a left back at the end of last season. We've changed that to defensive midfield because that's going to be the position. If Alan Richards makes it as a Wrexham Champions League winner, he will make it as a defensive midfielder. But man, time is running out, and I don't think he'll be anything like Canales. It hurts me. It really does hurt me. I'm going to allow offers on the player, but I'm not going to put him on the transfer list. If we sell him for seriously good money. Benz Macca's becoming big time. 76 overall, and now with some insane play styles that will make him even better. More on the changes to the play styles in the next episode, I think. Obviously, he's sticking around. Ricardo Neves could also be another one that's moving. I've had a big think about it, and there's just so much work, too much work, to get Ricardo Neves up to the standards that we want him to reach. Rodrigo Rojas obviously moving to Crystal Palace. Jogo's moving to FC Andorra. Might be a bit of a mistake there because his potential is pretty outstanding. Way higher than I remember it to be at 88. There's something telling me Jacinto is going to be an okay player, so I'm going to hold on to him for now. Maybe put him on the loan list to try and bump up that overall. Troy Osman is way too much of an experiment, so he goes onto the transfer list. Start out the season with Zviro Van Dinteren and Sorin Dari up top. I think it's time to say goodbye to Darwin Cruz. By the time that this guy has developed any kind of attacking sense, we're probably eyeing up a return for Ennio Pilato or Anthony Rocca. Lescavor seemed to enjoy his loan last season, so back on the the loan list you go. Gotta find a loan for Randolph Celestine. Ciliato Samasoni's back and his potential's jumped up to an eye-watering 92. So he's got himself well in contention. Millward Ridley sadly drew a short straw. With his potential dropping back to 75, I think there's too many forward options in front of him to keep him around the club. So onto the transfer list. Whatever way you look at it, we're getting rid of a lot of Welsh players, and we need to try and keep that Welsh spine going. Luke Williams is a no-brainer, and I love the fact that the global dynamic changes actually bring into play release clauses. You can get some great deals in the transfer window. 3.55 million for a 72 overall midfielder. Bargain. When I got rid of him, I thought he had his day, and now he's coming back as a crucial first teamer. Honestly, out of all the things that I've incorporated onto Youth Squad Legends, and we've incorporated a lot of things, we fixed a lot of things, the global dynamics are my favourite, because it just adds another level of surprise and uniqueness. Going into the season, this would never have been in my plans. But we're bringing back Luke Williams, and I think we'll get him with £5,000 a week in the wages, 6.5. We'll take it. Never in a million years did I think the big lad would be back in the building. Oh, he's wearing the number 7 shirt. We've given him the number 7 shirt on return. I've got a good feeling about that. You know, we haven't got that many options to replace the homegrown spine in the Welsh regen pool. Most of the really top players are centre-backs like Mike here. I might take a punt on Kai Gunter Summers. It's a great name. He's 70 overall. He has got good finishing. But then if you bring in a striker, you're denying that chance to one of the Youth Academy products, and he looks like he's got the same body type as Rojas. We know how bad Rojas was up front. Can we make something of Kai Lloyd? 6'4", central attacking midfielder. He has no real pace about him. That's funny. I've just checked if there was any 21-year-olds. There are, but they're both centre-backs. What is it with the Welsh producing so many good centre-backs? Now, looking at the options available, seems like we either bring back Jack Colley or we repurpose one of the Welsh players in our side and don't get rid of them. Try and mould the jigsaw piece into the puzzle. Finesse shot, dead ball, long ball pass, whip pass, rapping, and acrobatic. All quite decent hallmarks of someone out wide. So maybe that's the idea. Hang on, Volkov Wolf is going out on loan. Tristan Hicks does have a lower overall than Tom Arioka, so train him up as a right midfielder. 2 weeks. It'll only take him 2 weeks. Give him this season to prove his worth. Take him off the transfer list. What a nightmare that was then. Wages have been updated. Highest earning player, Bent Macron, £26,000. Stonks for the championship. Sarindari, 10k below him. Just before we press advance, this is the current coaching setup. We have added Serik Yesimov to the team. Such a cult hero. First offer, loan for Darko Leskovar. Probably hot property in the loan market. Ricardo Neves could be going to the same team as Jogo. They're asking for a player swap. We might negotiate this and see what kind of regens they've got. The only regen that they have in the team is Jogo, so no player swaps. Just going to be a solid amount of money. I'd be happy with £3 million, which is accepted. Seeing a bit Ricardo Neves. Well, I see that Frederic Mavan's got a bit of a release clause going on. I need to get that out of his contract very soon. This is a loan offer from Barracas Central that will try and push through. Chester Prudent is going on loan to Bournemouth. Darko Leskovar's getting close to moving. Lokthuk Ung will also be loaned out, and Darwin Cruz seems to be moving to Union de Santa Fe. So long as we get 4 million for him. Maybe even 4.2. Try and push the boat out a little bit. Yeah, he is a bit of a beast of a player. And if you develop him properly, he's gonna be sold for a lot more than 4.2 million quid. Here's another Santa Fe club wanting a loan for Jacinto. Troy Osman can quickly get sold there for just over £700,000. Great news, we got an offer on the table to loan out Alex Brutus. Confirmation should be coming up very soon. We'll take part in the European International Cup with a potential prize pot of 1.17 million quid. And out goes Darko Leskovar. Soon followed by Darwin Cruz, Chester Prudent, and Troy Osman. Oh, now then, I'm super proud. Super pleased for Ennio Pilato. Looks like he's moving to Juventus. Big deal, that. What a transfer. Looks like there's going to be a ton of money involved in the sale of Moon Monkey. Hamburg offering 8.2 million. Sounds like we can get north of 10. So let's try and get north of 10 mil. Or even like take a look at some of their regens. I want to do some surprise player swaps. Looks like they've just signed up an 80 overall called Andre Miranda. Dear me, he looks great. They've got another 80 overall regen there, central midfielder. Oh, Victor Lustosa. Oh my word, what a player. 84 stamina, 81 acceleration, 80 agility, 84 balance, 6'3". Brazilian. I would have never guessed that this lad's Brazilian. That's pretty cool. Like, we're lacking a bit of Brazilian flair in this team. This would be an outrageous swap. Nah, I think he knew that we were trying to pull the wool over his eyes. Let's ask for 10.2 million. That's been accepted. Nicely done. We've just sold Moon Monkey for over 10 million quid. There's a loan here for Randolph Celestine. Willie Ronto. I'll accept that. Hero Furiapu could be going to Plymouth. And let's try and sell Gino August for a good price. I honestly think we could get about 4 million for Gino August. I don't want to be rocking the boat too much. 3.6 is a good deal. I think I'm going to get aggressive on Victor Lustosa. Got a good feeling about him. Are you, sir, willing to take Joseph Tambora off my hands? And an extra 4 million quid. How about that? 1% of the next sell-on clause. Yes. Absolutely. He'll sign on the dotted line for £11,000 a week. It's a lot of money to be splashing out, but what we're getting in return is a lot of player. We are going to completely revamp this midfield. There's our new number 8. See you later, Joseph Tambora. Shut the fuck up. We've got the first loan completed for Mavanso. Bit of a glitching opportunity. Honestly, we should do the same for Lockthuk. We're not going to give up hope on him, but he is a complete meme of a player. He's gone up from 73 potential to 74. Frederick Mavan, 73 potential also, moving up to 74. Spitting image there, back onto the loan list. If we attempt a bigger and more bulky midfield, then it's probably smart to put Felix Rosenberg on loan. New York City, jumping at the chance to help us boost up Lockthuk. Orlando City wanting Randolph Celestine. He definitely is moving to America, but whereabouts in America is he heading off to this season? Goodbye, Moon Monkey. 10.2 million to Hamburg. It's an A price rating. What a surprise. This is Alfred Jacinto out the door. No transfer. It's a loan for this Dominican Republic centre forward. Tristan Hicks can change to a right midfielder. Stays the same overall there at 63. We don't usually put our players on plans to improve their week 4 skill moves, but it will help out Tristan Hicks there on the wing. By the way, Ricardo Neves, if he stayed at Wrexham, would still take a whole 140 weeks to become a holding midfielder. Jesus.
Welcome to Yuko Ike's Haiku Chronicles with your host, Yuko Ike.
140 weeks is enough to build 1/8 of the Great Pyramid. Here come the friendly games. Let's see what happens on a quick sim. That's a 1-0 win to Wrexham against Cologne. Sviro van Dinteren with the only goal of the match. Wow. Who's this going out the club then? Probably Alex Brutus with the hairstyle? Yeah, he's off. And I think it's the team that we've just signed Williams from. We've got 2 loan offers in for Volker Wolf and another one for Frederick Mavan. Yet Stoke City is not exactly where I wanted Felix Rosenberg to go. I'm actually going to reject this, you know. That's giving me really negative vibes. Quick sim against Augsburg. Oh yeah, there's a scoreline that brings no surprise. 3-0 loss. Well, you know who that is with the hairstyle. It's Hero Furiapu packing his bags, loaned out to Plymouth. Good luck. You know, it's almost like I got a moment of clarity where everything just seems to fall into place. I think I know what to do with the centre-backs. Philakouris, as good as he is, he's not on the same level as the other centre-backs. So, add to the transfer list, leaves us with 5. Gwyn Throwing, President, Mizidjan, Solar, Danny Binns. Obviously, the last two not going anywhere. Mizidjan definitely a centre-back. Shaquane President could be moved into holding midfield. Honestly, if you really want me to be ruthless, Gwyn Owen should be changing to a left-back. It's only going to take him 16 weeks. He is too good to be left out the team, and he was left out the team a lot last season. William Ronto being the understudy, that leaves out Spencer Neal. It's been emotional. There's been a lot of ups, very consistent player, but we've got to accept it that he's not going to be a player that gives us a big moment in a Champions League final. He's just your run-of-the-mill left-back. We need to get Gwyn back into the team, man. We really do. He's got 5-star weak foot. Could swap his preferred foot over, to be honest. He needs to be in that starting 11. It's sad to break anything like that to you, but sometimes it's got to happen. That was a long loading screen. Randolph Celestine is moving to America, going to Orlando City. Developed well. Lokthuk Ung also going stateside. All right, 74 potential has become 75. Really small steps. It's progress. Who's this then? William Ronto. He's got loaned out to Al Khalij. You'd expect Werder Bremen to dismantle us, but no, that is a 2-2 draw. Neves and Van Dinteren on the score sheet for Wrexham. Well done. That's pre-season over. Bit of a surprise package. Good account of ourselves. Spencer Neal going back to his home country, it seems. Let's negotiate this price. Might be on the transfer list, but we know how good he is. And he gets sold at a premium. It's got to be at a premium. Oh, mate, the earthquakes are shocking, which will mean that Spencer Neal gets plenty of game time. You're probably talking about 2.6 million, $1 million over his market value. 1.9, let's counter. 2.5, don't really want to go any lower. That is a deal agreed. Good chunk of money for a player that's only 64 overall. Lokthuk seeking another loan. Excelsior are interested in Felix Rosenberg. I'm way more happy to accept that. I do have an offer on the table for Tristan Hicks, but his valuation is surprisingly low, and it seems like we've got a new role for him, so we're going to block offers. Can we change Alan Richards' position? Looks like it. He goes to central defensive midfield, and a 71 overall. All of a sudden, with the colour changing to green, you get a little bit excited. Maybe we're going to see the finished article. Probably smart to add Anwar Balat to the loan list at this moment in time. Moving into August, this is Frederick Mavan, heading out on loan for the second time. Shanghai Port think they've got a player. They'll be a bit gutted in a second when I recall him. From 74 potential, Frederick Mavan goes to 75, of course. Is there just enough time to say goodbye? One final goodbye for Spencer Neal. This is Volker Wolf going out on loan to Millwall. Well, he does have high aggression, I guess. Oh, there's Spencer Neal. No! Why was that not the cutscene? Guys, why was that not the cutscene? It's an excellent deal. I did say I'd only sell him if we got some top dollar for him. What a player. I think we need a round of applause. Incredible Spencer Neal. We even got a quick glimpse of him holding up his new shirt. I want to wish him nothing but the best. As much as that hurt, and it really did hurt, it has carved away back into the first team for Gwyn Owen. As soon as we knew how good Solar was, we should have had a plan in place for Gwyn Owen. We tried to get him into holding midfield. Owen can't become a Canalis, so you keep him to what he's good at defending-wise. Even though Spencer Neal is a sacrifice. It's a sacrifice that we've needed to make. Lands us on the 2nd of August, where the season will start away against Portsmouth at Fratton Park. We're not done, though. Back in the transfer hub, we got money to spend. First off, Con Hunter. See if we can get a player swap in there. Finley Evans and 4.9 million quid. Accepted. Easy stuff. With a wage of £6,900 a week. Welcome back, the fraud detective. Up front, we want to move Millward Ridley on. And Thomas Midjord, who we once pushed away, has been making strides. 66 overall. Still doesn't have great finishing. You've got to think about that quick step plus. Alongside the 82 pace, that's a deadly combination. I'm just going to give them offers that they really can't refuse. £1 million and Nicky Millward Ridley. Of course that's going to get accepted. You get the feeling that there's going to be a lot of make or breaks career-wise with Wrexham in the Championship. £5,000 a week, for Thomas Midfield to return. And we send our regards to Nicky Millward-Ridley, who goes the other way. Oh, that's a bit of a spanner in the works. Barcelona want Oscar Torres. Of all the teams, I've had a look at the top regens in the save, and Barcelona have got the best goalkeeper. My lad is genuinely going to live off the bench. Look at the state of that left back. Aye, goalkeeper. There he is. Fabian Coors, 90 overall. I think there was a goalkeeper on the Welsh regen list. He might not like it, but he can play second fiddle to Tobias this season. Need to find an acceptable amount of money here. £4.5 million is accepted. For Oscar Torres, really? Gonna get some big money for Philakouris as well. Asking for £2.5 million. Shake my hand, take the player off my books. We're slimlining the team down. Peter Carrion's got a loan offer. Mavan's got a loan offer. Young Welsh goalies. We've got Tommy Jones at Empoli. 73 overall, 6'8". Blimey. And then Bryn Green here. Not as exceptional, quite honestly. He can stay at Coventry. I'm going for Tommy Jones. It's fine if this guy gets pissy at me. He's not going to be a long-term solution. I am going to keep Tobias Tanner in the net. Ricardo Neves has not moved yet. What happened to his transfer? It must have broken down. Try and use him to save a bit of money. Everything's okay. They're wanting 18% on the sell-on clause on a player that definitely is going to get sold one day. I'll accept it, though, because it suits us for this season. 5 years on the contract length. He is definitely not seeing that out, and we'll drop him $4,000 on the wages. Welcome in, Mr. Jones, and all the best to Ricardo Neves. He was a pretty great interceptor, possibly the best, but he wasn't the complete package in holding midfield. Lots of surprise signings. Jones with the shirt up. Absolutely love that goalkeeper kit, by the way. Total fire. The entire set. You'll see them in greater detail next episode. I'm sorry that this has been a bit strange, but as you might have seen over the course of this video, it's only an episode that needed to happen because we had to consider a lot of options. This has been Cutsy. Thank you ever so much for watching this episode of Youth Squad Legends. If you've enjoyed it, then please give the video a like. If you're not subscribed around here yet, then press the red box down below and hit the bell icon for mobile notifications. Big thanks to everybody on the right-hand side supporting me on Patreon. Next episode, that credits list will be updated. I will be focusing on a lot of Patreon stuff over the coming days, okay? Everybody who's been catching this series, episode in, episode out, just want to tell you, you're a gem, and I hope you're enjoying the story as it plays out in front of you. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.